Cabin 13. Hades.
Cabin 13 belongs to Hades, god of the underworld. Although Hades is one of the big three, he did not originally have a functioning cabin at Camp Half-Blood. The cabin existed structurally, but remained unused for years because Hades did not claim his children publicly. After the events of the Titan War, the gods agreed to acknowledge all demigod children, and Cabin 13 became fully operational. The exterior is built from solid black stone, designed to resemble polished obsidian. The interior is cold and minimally decorated. Silver skull motifs and dark metals reflect Hades' domain over death and the dead. Unlike other cabins that emphasize warmth or personality, this one reflects isolation and permanence. Children of Hades possess abilities tied to the underworld. These include shadow travel, which allows them to move between locations through darkness, necromancy, the ability to summon and communicate with the dead, control over precious metals and gemstones from beneath the earth. They can sense approaching death and are resistant to fear caused by undead creatures. Because Hades rules wealth beneath the ground, his children also have limited control over underground resources. The cabin functions as a high-risk, high-power cabin. Its members are rare due to the pact among the big three that restricted them from having children for decades. As a result, Cabin 13 remains sparsely populated compared to others. Cabin 14, Iris. Cabin 14 belongs to Iris, goddess of the rainbow and divine messenger of the gods. After the Olympians agreed to recognize all their children, a dedicated cabin was constructed for her demigods. The cabin exterior is decorated with panels of multicolored glass that reflect sunlight into shifting rainbow patterns. The design is intentionally bright and transparent, symbolizing Iris' role as a bridge between realms. Unlike war-focused cabins, Cabin 14 emphasizes communication and mobility. Children of Iris possess enhanced abilities related to light and messaging. Their primary skill involves iris messaging, a magical communication system that uses rainbows as a transmission medium. By offering drachmae and speaking the correct incantation, they can project live images and audio across vast distances. While any demigod can perform iris messaging, children of Iris require less effort and have greater accuracy and stability when using it. They also demonstrate limited control over light refraction. This does not equate to invisibility, but allows subtle manipulation of color and brightness, which can be used for signaling or mild disorientation in combat. Because Iris serves as a neutral messenger among the gods, her children are often trusted as intermediaries during disputes. Cabin 14 plays a strategic support role within Camp Half-Blood. Its strength lies not in direct combat, but in coordination, information relay, and rapid communication during missions. Cabin 15, Hypnos. Soft light and unnatural silence define this structure. Cabin 15 reflects the domain of Hypnos, god of sleep, and is designed to encourage stillness the moment someone enters. The exterior is simple and muted in color, avoiding bold decoration. Inside, the lighting remains low at all times. The air feels heavy and calm, as if sound itself has been reduced. Beds are spaced carefully to minimize disturbance, reinforcing the cabin's purpose. Children of Hypnos possess abilities centered on sleep and altered consciousness. Their primary power is sleep inducement. By focusing their will, they can cause a target to feel extreme drowsiness and eventually lose consciousness. The strength of this effect depends on distance, concentration, and the target's resistance. The ability is not instant against strong opponents and requires sustained effort. They also demonstrate controlled dream entry. Once a person is asleep, a child of Hypnos can enter that dream state and observe or influence its imagery. This does not grant control over thoughts or memories, but it allows guidance within the dream environment. In rare cases, they can create shared dream spaces between multiple individuals. In combat situations, their abilities function as containment tools. Instead of causing injury, they incapacitate opponents through unconsciousness. Because sleep affects mortals, demigods, and certain monsters, this power provides a versatile, non-lethal strategy. Cabin 16, Nemesis. Balance defines this cabin. Dedicated to Nemesis, goddess of retribution and equilibrium, cabin 16 represents consequence rather than chaos. Its exterior is symmetrical by design. The architecture is precise, with evenly spaced columns and mirrored detailing. Inside, decorations often include scales and symbols of justice, reflecting Nemesis' role in punishing arrogance and restoring balance when someone gains too much power or advantage. Children of Nemesis do not specialize in brute force. Their abilities revolve around redistribution. They can subtly manipulate probability and fortune to correct perceived imbalance. This does not mean full control over luck. Instead, they can shift small outcomes, increasing the chance of fairness or redirecting advantage away from an opponent who has become disproportionately powerful. They also possess strong emotional insight, particularly toward pride, envy, and injustice. This awareness makes them effective at identifying vulnerabilities rooted in arrogance. In combat, they focus on turning an enemy's strength against them rather than overpowering it directly. Members of Cabin 16 often operate independently. Their powers require judgment and restraint since imbalance can occur from either extreme. The cabin's function within camp culture is corrective rather than dominant, ensuring that no force goes unchecked for too long. Cabin 17 Nike. Victory defines the identity of this cabin. Dedicated to Nike, goddess of triumph, Cabin 17 reflects competition and achievement in both design and culture. The exterior often features carved wings and laurel wreath symbols representing athletic and military success. Inside, the layout is orderly and disciplined, emphasizing readiness and performance. Children of Nike possess abilities that enhance competitive advantage. Their primary trait is heightened drive and tactical focus. In high-pressure situations, they can push themselves beyond normal physical limits for short periods. This does not make them invulnerable, but it increases stamina, reaction speed, and resilience during decisive moments. They also demonstrate a subtle influence over morale. When leading others, they can inspire confidence and determination, increasing group coordination. This effect is not magical mind control, rather, it amplifies natural motivation and competitive instinct. In combat, members of Cabin 17 excel at structured engagements such as capture the flag or battlefield strategy. They analyze weaknesses and exploit openings efficiently. However, their focus on winning can create internal tension, as the desire for victory must be balanced with teamwork. Within the camp hierarchy, Cabin 17 functions as a performance-driven unit, emphasizing preparation, discipline, and measurable success. Cabin 18, Hebe. Youth and renewal shape the purpose of this cabin. Dedicated to Hebe, goddess of youth, Cabin 18 reflects vitality rather than combat specialization. The structure often appears well-maintained and polished, symbolizing restoration and preservation. Interior decorations favor bright tones and open space, reinforcing the idea of energy and growth. Children of Hebe do not possess conventional offensive abilities. Their powers relate to rejuvenation and stamina. They can accelerate minor healing in themselves and others, particularly restoring fatigue and reducing physical strain. This does not equate to instant regeneration of severe injuries. Instead, it enhances the body's natural recovery processes, allowing faster stabilization and endurance. They also display resistance to aging effects, poisons, and exhaustion-based attacks. Because Hebe served nectar and ambrosia to the gods, her children show heightened tolerance to divine substances compared to average demigods. In structured activities, Cabin 18 members support extended missions by maintaining team stamina. Their role within camp is sustainment rather than dominance. While they lack destructive capability, their contribution lies in prolonging operational effectiveness during prolonged conflicts. Cabin 19, Tyche. Probability and chance define this cabin. Dedicated to Tyche, goddess of fortune, Cabin 19 reflects unpredictability in both design and atmosphere. Decorative elements often include dice, coins, and symbols of luck. The structure itself may appear asymmetrical or unusually arranged, reinforcing the theme of randomness. Children of Tyche demonstrate limited manipulation of probability. They cannot control fate or guarantee outcomes, but they can slightly influence chance in their favor. This may result in small advantages such as an opponent slipping, a projectile narrowly missing, or an unexpected opportunity appearing at a critical moment. The effects are subtle and rarely dramatic on their own. Their powers are inconsistent by nature. The same ability that grants advantage can also produce neutral or unpredictable outcomes if overused. Because probability operates within constraints, they cannot override stronger magical forces or predetermined events. In combat, Cabin 19 functions as a variable factor. Members can create openings through chance-based shifts, but they require adaptable teammates to capitalize on those moments. Their strategic value lies in altering narrow margins rather than overwhelming force. Cabin 20, Hecate. Magic defines the foundation of this cabin, dedicated to Hecate, goddess of magic, crossroads, and the mist. Cabin 20 functions as one of the most technically complex cabins at Camp Half-Blood. The exterior is often described as dark stone marked with torch symbols and crossroads imagery. Inside, shelves of spell components, candles, and ritual markings reflect structured magical study rather than chaotic sorcery. Children of Hecate possess direct control over the mist, the supernatural force that obscures magical events from mortal perception. They can shape illusions, alter how objects appear, and conceal movements. This does not change physical reality, it alters perception. Stronger users can create layered illusions that affect multiple senses. They also practice spell casting. Spells require preparation, focus, and knowledge of incantations or symbols. Power output depends on training and stamina. Unlike innate elemental powers, magic from Cabin 20 demands structured learning and discipline. In combat, their abilities provide deception, battlefield confusion, and environmental manipulation. Outside combat, they assist in concealment, enchantment, and protective wards around camp. Which of the additional cabins stands out to you the most, and which one do you think you'd belong to? Let us know in the comments. We'll be replying to the best ones.